Breaking news: Jamie Dornan has been diagnosed with a terrible illness and has been hospitalized. Jamie Dornan, the movie star with a smile that melts millions of hearts, has always been the image of calm and steadfastness. After the success of the 50 Shades series, he decided to temporarily withdraw from the silver screen for a while, to find peace with his family and loved ones. But that peace did not last long. In June 2025, while preparing for a new role in a psychological thriller by an Oscar-winning director, Jamie suddenly felt tired, dizzy and had strange headaches. He thought it was simply due to stress and lack of sleep, but the symptoms persisted and became more severe. Dakota Johnson, his close co-star and close friend for many years, was the first to realize something was wrong. "Jamie, are you okay?" Dakota asked when she saw him bending over backstage because of dizziness. Jamie smiled softly, trying to reassure her, "It's probably just a migraine. You know, I've only slept a few hours these past few days." But Dakota didn't believe that answer. Emergency hospitalization. A few days later, while on a promotional photo shoot in Los Angeles, Jamie suddenly collapsed. The whole crew panicked. Dakota was the first to rush to the scene. She screamed for her assistant and asked for an ambulance. Jamie was taken to Cedars-Sinai Hospital in an unconscious state. Doctors initially suspected a mild stroke, but tests showed something much more complicated. "His immune system is attacking his own body," the chief neurologist told Dakota, who was on duty at the hospital. "We suspect Jamie has a rare syndrome called encephalomyelitis autoimmune." Dakota was stunned. The painful days of waiting. The news of Jamie Dornan's hospitalization was kept secret. His family, with the help of their attorneys and representatives, asked the hospital to keep it strictly confidential. But in the long, cold hallways of Cedars-Sinai, Dakota barely left Jamie's bedside. She sat there every day, reading to him, telling him stories, sometimes just holding his hand, which was now cold and weak. Dakota didn't cry in public. But every night, when she left the hospital and returned to her nearby temporary apartment, she broke down. "I don't know what I'd do if Jamie didn't wake up," she whispered through tears as she answered a rare phone call from her mother. Memories and promises. In her coma, Jamie seemed lost in another world. A place without time, without light, only memories. He found himself back in the early days of 50 Shades of Grey, where he and Dakota first met. She was shy, and he was nervous because of the controversial role. He remembered her smile, the way she looked at him in the first scene. And then, he heard her voice in his sleep. "Jamie, you can't leave me. Can you hear me?" Jamie found himself running down a long hallway, her voice echoing in the space. He silently promised that if he woke up, he would tell Dakota what he had not dared to say for years. The miraculous awakening. After nearly 3 weeks in a coma, on the morning of July 28, 2025, Jamie opened his eyes. Gently, tired but alert, Dakota was sleeping beside the bed, her hand still holding his. Jamie squeezed it gently. She woke up, her eyes brimming with tears. "Jamie," he smiled weakly, "I'm here." She burst into tears, for the first time in weeks. She no longer needed to hold back her tears. The transformation. Jamie's recovery was not easy. The disease was not fully understood, but thanks to early detection and timely treatment, Jamie was lucky to overcome the dangerous stage. He had to learn to speak again, walk again, and fight every bit of his body. Dakota was by his side like a shadow. She cancelled all her filming schedules. When reporters asked, she simply said, "I need to be with someone important." During his recovery, Jamie began to keep a diary. He recorded everything, from the nightmares in his coma to the first moment he saw Dakota cry for him. The confession. One night, as the two sat on the balcony of the Malibu apartment where Jamie was taken to recuperate, he turned to Dakota. "I used to think I was immortal, at least in the eyes of the audience. But when I faced death, the only thing I thought about was you." Dakota was silent, her eyes wide. Jamie continued, "I love you, Dakota. Not just as a friend, or as a co-star. I've loved you, for a long time." Dakota looked at him for a long time. Then she said, "I know, and I do too." Return. In late October 2025, Jamie Dornan made his first public appearance at a charity event supporting autoimmune disease research. Dakota was next to him, in a simple white dress, holding his hand tightly as if she never wanted to let go. Jamie spoke to hundreds of people. "I thought this disease was the end of my life. But it turned out to be the beginning. I learned that time is limited, and love, even if it comes late, is always worth it." New chapters. Jamie did not return to acting immediately. He published a short memoir, titled, Between the Lines of Life. In it, he tells the story of his battle with illness and the love he kept hidden for years. The book quickly became a bestseller. But what touched audiences most was not the details of the illness, but the way Jamie wrote about Dakota, who he called, "my light in the darkness." Quote,